Q Myers from Vegas is now, look at this, George, it's connecting by Comrex.
I love that.
Wow. And video on YouTube.
Oh.
Hello, Q.
Hey, what's happening? How you guys doing?
My
Appreciate
boy
you having me on
Q.
the show.
My boy Q.
What's happening? I like the chain, man. The chain is fantastic.
Hey, Q, listen to me, man. I'm trying to school these fools around here. They don't understand something. They don't get it, Q.
Hey, what's up, Holmes?
You've been around the Raiders for a long time.
Yep.
You know, and I was around the Seahawks, and I've been around Pete a lot. When Pete Carroll shows up, it's a whole different environment, and that is why I believe the Raiders will be able to win this game tonight. And by the way, if they're going to win one of these two games, winning at home in week 2 when everybody's healthy, this is the time to get it done.
This is the time to get it done. You're exactly right. Not to mention, the Raiders need to start establishing some kind of home field advantage, and they'll have that tonight. 86% of the people that are ticketed to be there are going to be Raider fans. And as you guys know, that doesn't happen at Allegiant Stadium all the time. So the Raiders have to finally take advantage of having a real, true home field advantage. So this would be a great stage, right? The Chiefs lost. The Broncos lost. I know it's early in the season, but literally this is a first-place game. It'd be a great stage for them to go ahead and get that done and show what Pete Carroll's all about.
Oh, a first-place game, Q. You don't say.
I mean, it's
You
week
don't say.
two.
It is week 2.
Hey,
It is week 2.
wait. George told me earlier that I'm pathetic.
Well,
he used the word pathetic.
Because you're like making this out to be like it's a big deal to be in first place in week 2.
It's a big deal for the Raiders. It is a big deal for the Raiders.
School them, Q.
But that goes to show you the sad state of affairs.
Well, no,
of the
you're not wrong.
franchise.
You're not wrong, but that's why they've hired Pete Carroll and John Spytek to try to turn that sad state of the franchise into not a sad state and get back where they need to be. It is baby steps. You can't run before you walk. The Raiders need to learn how to walk, and they're trying to do that tonight.
They also, they got to do that as far as their running game as well. Their problem is they can't run there either. So how do they rectify some of those issues that they have running the football?
Well, you know, they didn't have a very good showing in week 1, obviously only running for 56 yards, and the offensive line didn't do Ashton Jeanty any favors, and JPJ is out today. So Jackson Powers-Johnson will not be in. It'll be Alex Cappa will be at the right guard spot. So that's a continuity thing. How quickly can they get on the same page? It's going to be a big challenge. But I do believe that the Chargers, who weren't tested on the ground by Kansas City, Patrick Mahomes was the leading rusher for the Chiefs last week. I think that the Raiders will go ahead and at least test them early to see if they can get their ground game going. To win this game, they have to be more balanced. You can't go for 362 in the air and 56 on the ground, think you're going to beat the Chargers.
Right.
It's not going to happen.
You got to be able to run the ball because you got to be able to work the clock.
Yep.
And you got to try and keep Herbert off the field as much as you can because you know how explosive they are. The thing I keep saying, Q, and you tell us, is that it's great to have Jeanty, and it's nice to have a competent quarterback, and it's great to have, one of the best tight ends in football.
Well, by the way, competence in general is what to Q's point earlier, that's what Pete Carroll brings, is a level of competence the franchise has not had, particularly at that position, in a long time.
But Q, just to continue on, they've got to build an offensive line. I mean, they've got what they've got for this year, but Ashton Jeanty is not going to be great until he gets some big guys up front that are really good. So what do you think they do with this offensive line as this year goes on?
I mean, it's going to continue to be a work in progress, and I hate to say that, and that's one of the conversations that we all had going into the draft. Is Jeanty a guy that you can get right now and take advantage of his skill set, right? You don't have the Eagles offensive line. You don't have the Packers offensive line. You don't have the Ravens offensive line. You got the Raiders offensive line. So they've got to find a way to come together and make it happen. They put Jordan Meredith at the center position, and that was the first time he ever played center, but he's actually done pretty well. So they got to get that right size shored up, and I think that they'll continue to tinker with it. But right now it kind of is what it is. Alex Kappa's in, JPJ is out, and you just kind of take your lumps when you can.
Give us an example of that level of competence, though, that we were referring to with Pete Carroll.
Yeah.
Like something that you've seen that's tangible that makes a difference.
All the players absolutely believe. And, it's funny, I've been around the team long enough, and there's been so many coaching changes that you always want to see where the buy-in is and, this is the coach that's going to get it done. But, man, every single player that we've talked to in the locker room, just seeing them at training camp, they all believe in Pete. They say, look, he doesn't have a bad day, so we sure ain't going to have a bad day. If this dude comes through smiling and joking and laughing and competing, we better too. So you could just see that you follow your leadership, and the leadership that Pete Carroll has brought, this team has really bought into, especially with Geno Smith working with them there in Seattle. He knows what he brings to the table. So everyone is all in, which is a good thing, right? I mean, even Jacoby Myers, who wants a contract extension, requested a trade. He said, hey, I asked for the trade. They said no. I said, okay, let's get back to work. So, I mean, it's just everyone's just down to do their job, and it all starts with Pete Carroll. He's been a refreshing, just kind of like some good wind and air in the sails of the Raiders. And honestly, Antonio Pierce started the change last year with the culture. He just didn't know how to get it. He knew what he wanted. He didn't know how to get it. Pete Carroll knows how to get it.
Hey, Q, go to the defensive side of the ball. We're talking about what the Raiders offense has to do to play keep away from Justin Herbert. But when the Chargers are on the field on offense, okay?
That drop, by the way, is hilarious. I mean, it's so good.
Not only do the Raider fans need to make noise to disrupt the Charger offense, but go to the Raider defense. I mean, everybody knows that Crosby is one of the premier pass rushers in the league, and Pete really talked about the size and the speed of the secondary in the preseason. But when you look at this game from a defensive perspective, what do you think the Raiders can or need to do?
Two things. They've got to get pressure on Herbert. That's a non-negotiable, right? Patrick Graham's defense is all about pressure. So Crosby is always going to be the guy we always talk about and focus in on. But Kuntz, Tyree Wilson, Adam Butler, Jonah Laulu, guys like that are all going to have to play a role. Thomas Booker, who they traded for, they're all going to have to do their job as well. You can't lose contain either, right? You can't play hero ball like Chris Jones tried to do with the Chiefs last week against Justin Herbert, where he tried to jump inside instead of just keep contain. And as we all saw, what did Justin Herbert do? Ran to the outside, 19 yards, game, set, match. It's over. You got to keep contained. You got to stay disciplined. And the secondary, they have to be sticky. There was way too many times that Patriot wide receivers were wide open. Now, to the Raiders' credit, they were able to tackle immediately, so there wasn't a lot of yak yards, but it doesn't matter. You can't allow Quentin Johnston, Keenan Allen, Ladd McConkey, and others to run free like that because they will eat you alive. Justin Herbert will eat you alive. So sticky coverage and pressure on the quarterback. Those are non-negotiables for the Raiders' defense.
Q, before we let you go, Brock Bowers, the knee brace, what do we know about that?
I think he's going to give it a go. He practiced in a limited capacity on Saturday. He said it was a little uncomfortable to play with that compression on his leg, but he's going to try, right? And so if he can't go, it's going to be the Big Mike show, Michael Mayer. And I think it's a good opportunity for him. He hasn't had a chance to break out since the Raiders drafted him in the second round 2 seasons ago. I think that this is a good time for Michael Mayer to show what he can be, especially with Denzel Perryman out. I think the Raiders could exploit the middle of the defense of the Chargers.
Now, listen, I know that the Raiders' mantra is commitment to excellence, but for tonight, even though I've been dubbed a Raider hater on this show, I believe in commitment to covering, okay? So if they can give me the hook tonight, I'd be happy with that, okay?
I'm not mad. I actually think because the Raiders are going to take advantage of this home field, I actually think that the Raiders get a 3-point dub. So I got them 24-21 in this game because they have to. They have to take advantage of this home field advantage. Right. They don't have it very often.
Right. Hey, Q, before you go, you can see us on video, right?
Yeah.
So you can see that I've already put on my big Cappy Raider hat here tonight.
I see
I've got on my chain. George is committed to wearing the chain if the Raiders win.
Nice.
Okay. And just last thing, there's a story today about Pete Carroll breaking a whiteboard, going like wrestler on the Raiders in a pregame speech. What do we know about that?
Apparently he's getting his best WWE style on, and he's one of those guys that he just knows how to get to these young players and get them fired up. And I didn't know about it till over the weekend as well, but apparently kicked a hole in the whiteboard. It's pretty awesome. Got the team all fired up. What 74-year-old isn't kicking holes in a whiteboard?
74. He ain't 74. He's 44. I keep having to explain to Sedano, 74 is the new 44.
There you go.
Pete Carroll is a child. He's a baby.
Yeah.
He's a boy.
Okay.
He's a little guy.
I love Pete Carroll.
No, you don't.
I want to see that chain on George. That's what I want to see. I want to see that chain.
Me too.
I love Pete Carroll. I just don't know how long he's going to be there to make all of it work. We'll just see. We'll see how it all works.
I offered him another necklace over here.
No, I want to wear the smaller one.
Then I
like the small one.
Then I got this ice.
That's the one
I got this ice right here.
That's nice.
You see this ice
right
here?
I see it. Yeah, I see it.
And by the way, here's another thing. Yeah. If the Raiders win, tomorrow Morales is putting on the Raiders socks.
I'm not going to do that.
Yes, you are. Because your nemesis is the one who gave me these socks.
So you want me to take that picture in my brand new Skims and just socks and Skims?
Yeah. That's exactly right.
That'd be great.
And I need to hear a couple more moldy oldies, though. That's good. That's a fantastic.
By the way, how great is Q Myers? Q, I'm going to send you some liners for our show so you could be part of our imaging every day.
Did you have me on your show to berate me? Is that what you're doing?
No, we're done with that. Q Myers is the guy now. Good job, Q Myers.
Q, pleasure, buddy. We'll talk to you soon. Thanks again.
I appreciate y'all, man.
That's
Have
your
a great
boy
day,
Q right there.
You too.
That's your boy Q.
Part of ESPN Radio and Game Night, and, of course, the program director and afternoon host of Raider Nation Radio 920 in Vegas.